And this is a deck power for
Genesis.
Specifically, this is Regalia Minerva.
Ooh.
Best card in the game. No reason why it shouldn't be. Okay, the starter is Battle Maiden Amanakahari. What she does is that whenever she boosts a Genesis Grade 3, it lets me Soul Charge 1. It's not mandatory. So,
which helps a lot.
So basically, this allows me to go through my deck. I can kind of like bypass non-triggers. I can Soul Charge what I want when I'm ready. And it allows me to keep my soul at like a decent level so that I can always use Minerva's skill. Boss monster, Minerva herself. What Minerva does is you counter blast 1, soul blast 3, and discard 3 Genesis, and she restands and gains 5k.
Probably one of the freest restanding Vanguards.
And she's also a crossrider. The reason why her effect is so amazing, even though the cost seems hefty, is the fact that the deck does soul charging by itself, so that's not an issue. And hand advantage is pretty decent in the deck because what the break ride does. Also, you don't really have to call units because some of the cards effects. So basically, it allows for Minerva to always restand and always do ridiculous amounts of pressure in the deck, especially when you run 12 crits like I do.
Break ride time.
The break ride is Regalia of Wisdom Angelica. What she does is when you ride a grade 3, you soul blast 3 and you draw 2 cards. And then the generic, when you swings, I can soul charge 1, and she gains 1k.
Just like
Angelica is pretty much just like the base form of Minerva, because Minerva is a cross ride. So Angelica is pretty much mandatory. It's also the best break ride for the deck because it allows you to get hand advantage, which you would not. You'd normally have a decent amount.
And build up the soul for free for Minerva.
And yeah, it also sets up the soul ahead of time, especially with the other units in the deck. The support allows for the deck to always be very consistent and very reliable. For grade 2s, I run 4 Goddess of Trees Jupiter. Jupiter's 12k for Regalia units. There's only Regalia units right now are grade 3s, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Honestly, because there's crossover running rampant right now, and with one unit in the deck that's actually have a lower amount of base power, Jupiter is kind of necessary. She's very necessary to basically provide a great amount of pressure throughout the deck, so that we don't have really bad matchups against like just a certain build or something like that. I played 3 Witch of Grades Grappa. What Grappa does is that when she's soul blasted, I can soul charge 2.
Alright.
So basically, Grappa's is a great grade 2 ride, and soul charge in general, because once I soul blast her, that soul blast of like 3 from Minerva becomes, instead of soul blasting, it becomes like a soul blast 1. Because all I'm doing is just soul charging 2 right afterwards. I don't lose soul from it. So I can consistently continue to use Minerva's effect without having to lose too many cards from my soul or my hand.
Not bad.
I run 2 Witch of Ravens Chamomile. What Chamomile does that when she's soul blasted, I can counter blast 1 and call her to rear. So pretty much this allows me to play around retiring decks like Eradicators, Kagero, and it also allows for me to basically get free units, just like a Go Paladins do. So I don't have to call from my hand and come from the soul instead. And then I play 2 Battle Maiden Saohime. Saohime is good for the deck because when she hits the Vanguard, I counter blast 1 and soul charge 3. It's also another reason why most of the units are pretty much vanillas. So Saohime having an effect allows for her to apply pressure to my opponent, build up soul late game or early game. It also allows for me to soul charge the cross ride if I don't already have Angelica in the soul. And just as a backup plan, she always guarantees that if I don't have what I have, I can just have 3 in the soul ahead of time. So Minerva will get her effect off. And I can play around not having Amanakahari. So I'll play a retiring deck and then retire my starter, have a backup plan. For grade 1s, I play 3 Apple Witch Cider. And what Cider does is she pretty much allows for me to soul charge anytime when whenever she put in the guard circle. If I have a Regalia unit as my Vanguard, for the rest of that battle, any units used to guard, any Genesis units used to guard, they go into the soul.
Not bad.
So pretty much, I can call her, I can drop her like a Chamomile. They both go into soul, Chamomile's right back where she needs to go. It pretty much guarantees that I get soul and I get my units effects off that activate from the soul consistently.
Not bad. And she has a great combo with another piece that's going to be coming up real soon.
I played 2 Ordain now. Ordain now skill is that whenever I can put a Regalia grade 3 unit from my drop zone into the bottom of the deck and power a Regalia unit in my rear by 5,000 power. This is really good because this unit allows for Minerva to always hit big numbers, even after the break right hand. So all that pressure just kind of adds up together and eventually my opponent's hand will be completely gone.
That and helps you from decking out.
Yeah, especially in a deck like this where I run out of deck pretty quickly. I played 2 Witch of Frogs Melissa. She's pretty much Chamomile but a grade 1. So it just allows me to have free boosters. It's never bad. Boosters are always good in the deck.
Always need boosters. Always.
I played 3 Witch of Cats Cumin. Cumin pretty much allows me to take all the pressure off of Amanakahari, Saohime, and Angelica. because the more units I have that can soul charge without me having to pay a ridiculous cost, pretty much allows for me to guarantee big soul without having to focus on only having one card. So it lessens my bad matchups, which is always good. And then for my Sentinels, I run one Quintet Wall, because the Quintet Wall with Cider
It's amazing.
Once I counterblast the 1 and put the 5 out there, I can drop Cider from my hand, and all 7 of those cards go into the soul. So I get a soul charge 7 for guarding you. That's amazing.
And then you pretty much get 2 free Minervas.
And then the 3
freestanding.
perfect guards, just to guarantee that I can always guard whenever it comes out, because the Quintet Wall is not always the best option. And for my trigger lineup, I play the strongest of all 12 crits.
Ugh.
If restanding wasn't bad enough, 12 crits is even worse, because this guarantees that I will always, you're always trying to guard, make sure I don't crit you to death. I've actually OTK'd with this deck.
Oh god, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh, sir.
I got it from 0 to 6 damage in 1 turn. It was like ridiculous. All because I ran 12 crits. I swung once, hit 2 triggers, I hit 2 crits. He went from 0 to 3. I reached the swing again, he couldn't guard it. Minerva killed me 1 shot. All because 12 crits puts in all the work. It's one of the best things to do in this deck.
Was it
And plus-
Taco?
No. It was Chris Molina, the Great Nation player.
Oh.
And then this crit specifically, her effect is actually really good for the deck. I can place it from the rear guard into the soul and power up any unit, any Genesis unit by 3,000 power.
And if
So
you're not crossing, oh god.
I can turn Minerva from being 13 body on my turn, just put it in the soul, 16. I get the guard that would ascend to 5. I'm sending the booster, it's 21. And when I reset, it's 21 again. So it's basically so Minerva can always hit magic numbers. Also, I can make my rear guards hit magic numbers like 21, 22, 23. And allows me to fill up my soul without having to focus on other units in the deck.
Chase, what do you want?
And then obviously 4 heal triggers, because
4 heal triggers are mandatory in every deck.
in some decks, I won't say every.
Oh, don't worry,
Fuck
Devin.
crazy form, but
Don't worry, guys. We'll get to that deck eventually.
fuck that deck, it makes me mad. But anyway, that's the Genesis, that's the Minerva profile. And that's pretty much it.
All right, guys. This is Team Ubermans. We're signing out. Like, subscribe to the video, and we're out.